Hans is saying, why are you assuming the suffering of animals is wrong? We choose what is wrong in a way that is guided by our own emotions. These emotions were developed for the sake of our survival. Hans, I already explained this, okay? When it comes to defining right and wrong, of course we decide what's okay. So you first of all you contradicted yourself because the emotions we don't choose. There's two different things that you're confusing with each other. Our emotions are biological, and that is not a choice. You just said we choose it, and then you talked about emotions that is biologically hardwired in our brain for us to care about reducing suffering. Okay, so the emotions were not part of our choice. We were born with that, but the standards that we built because we have those emotions, yes, we choose those. But there are ways for us to come up with standards that are effective, that helps reduce misery the highest, and there are ways for us to choose the standards that they're not so effective at coming at reducing misery, right? And the best standards that reduces the misery the highest will condemn all of us to be evil, right? That's what it means. Yeah. So based on, yeah, we choose what these definitions of what good and bad is. We come up with it, and we could come up with good definitions, and we could come up with bad definitions. In my opinion, the best definitions are the definitions that, if you abide by them, reduces the misery for the highest number of living beings. Okay, and based on those definitions, we are all condemned. Katie's saying, but if we care about the lives of animals, should we not care about their lives in the wild as well? So that would mean actively rescuing deers from lion packs like humans are rescued. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I always wondered if hunting is actually good for animals, because if you didn't hunt them, then they would die a slow, painful death instead, because they would either be hunted by a lion or something, which would be like a really slow, excruciating death, or they would just die from starvation at some point, or disease or something, and that would be also a very slow. So if you shoot them in the head, maybe that's like a mercy kill. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just wondering. I was just wondering. Yeah, I know about Jainism. We'll cover Jainism at some point. Mir Ali saying, the other day I challenged the vegan to stop using cars and roads, as it kills animals by accident. He kept quiet. Since then, animals are killed for medical research, urbanization, etc. Yeah, but again, it's not about trying to reduce all forms of evil completely, as long as you could do something. Okay. So here's the thing: if you're a vegan, like, so you could be like, Armin, why don't you do this one extra thing? Let me actually read Lucas thing. Look, Armin, this is my first hard disagree with you. Can't wait to discuss this more in the future. Hey, look, you come up and have a discussion with me. I would love to debate you on this. It's an interesting take. I'll give you that. You should read Singer's new book. Yeah, somebody was mentioning Singer and tagging me. Can you mention what he? You guys, somebody was. I think it was Luke. Somebody was saying, bringing up a challenge against my position based on one of Singer's arguments. Do you guys have anything? Um, do you guys mind reposting that? I do want to say. I do want to say. Here's my challenge to a vegan. Okay. Are they just only focusing on this harm reduction? Would they? What if I What if I was doing, what if I was not a vegan and I was also not fighting against global warming, right? And then you said that, Armin, become a vegan. And I was like, for me, it's either go vegan or fight against global warming. I'm going to pick fighting against global warming. Not going to pick the vegan option. A lot of vegans would be like, no, go vegan. But why not? Why is that? They wouldn't be upset if this person went vegan but didn't fight against global warming. Do you know what I mean? They would be like, yeah, good. You're on the right path right now, even though you're not fighting against global warming. But they would think like, let me see if I could explain this properly, right? So option A, I started going vegan, I don't fight against global warming. and the vegans were like, "Yay, good job, you're reducing misery on the planet." Even though I didn't do the other thing, which I could have done, which is fight against global warming. Option two would be I don't go vegan, but I fight against global warming. Let's assume the harm reduction in both of these are equal. To me, it seems a lot of vegans are dogmatic about, no, this is the harm reduction that you need to do. But what if the harm reduction from my other action was the same as the harm reduction of me going vegan? Would you not be like, I guess that's fine? And if it's not fine, then what, can I condemn every single vegan who's not fighting against global warming for not doing more that they could do against? Are they evil? I mean, they are evil, right? Every single vegan that is I congratulate vegans for contributing to harm reduction in that specific way that I'm not doing. But if they're rightfully pointing out people like me who are my evil, who is not actively not trying to in such an easy way reduce my harm in the area that they're reducing harm, okay? If they consider me evil for that, do they consider themselves evil for all the other non-vegan related areas in their lives that they could so easily participate in harm reduction, and they're not? All the vegans that are not participating in all those other things that they could so easily be contributing to harm reduction, unless they're doing every single one of them. If you are a person that is doing every single one of them, then okay, you're a saint. Or actually, not saints are evil, but you are what we mean when we call people saints. You are that, okay? But for every single other person, for every single vegan that is not doing all those other things, do they have cognitive dissonance? Do the vegans have cognitive dissonance if they go buy a watch that they don't need?